Hi everyone, this is Caitlin here. Welcome to my virtual presentation for TWC 301. I titled it My 3 Best, so just forget the rest. And these are the best works as completed by me, Caitlin Azimi. So first we have here just the basic breakdown of the works that I chose. As you could see, I chose to reflect on the first reflection paper, my brochure project, and the website project. So starting here with the reflection paper, I tried to choose assignments over even courses of the period, so the reflection paper was our first project, and this way I can reflect over this project and then a project in the middle, such as the brochure, and a project at the end. So we'll go ahead and get to that. Basically, how I started here with my reflection is giving the rules here on the right-hand column. These are the rules that Amy set apart for us to accomplish on our reflection paper. So this way, if someone were to just go through my presentation by themselves, then they kind of would know what the expectations were. And regarding my paper, there's a little theme between my presentation here that I split things up into. So for the paper, I chose to reflect here on the communication and kind of my personal thoughts on those. Just gaining the basic understanding that communication is a process that we as people use to generate a shared understanding or a mutual understanding, if you will. And continuing on here, we know that communication can include anything like processing or speaking, having a conversation, listening, analyzing. And those are all things that make up the process we know as communication, and that through communication we can clearly identify our ideas and get our audience on the same page as we are with those. And then I have here to the right-hand column, you'll see under terminology, I liked the idea of reflecting on some of the terms that we were expected to use for each assignment. So you see here I have reflection. Obviously, it was a reflection paper. And then there's communication, the broad aspect that we're learning from. And then I ventured out into delivery, how we write things, the tone of our papers, all of the exponents that go into it, and then the skills that we have. I know that I'm not the most professional writer nor experienced, so developing skills in that aspect was definitely key for this assignment. I broke it down into a now and then. Now I feel as though I can communicate in settings that are audience-centered, although I do feel comfortable with more design-related aspects. And so then I suppose I would have to improve in my person-to-person and my actual face-to-face contact and communication to be beneficial in that sense. And when asked what most effective communication form I feel I align with, I would have to go back to using the visual aids and anything that goes along with design, and being able to see things that will actually help me learn. Other forms of communication as to the reflection paper that I feel are pertinent is something I thought of as learning to play the piano, and maybe this is different for everybody, but I feel that it is a way of communication, and it's something that you can express yourself through in working through a music piece, so that's definitely a lot of fun. As far as improvements, I know that I can improve in pretty much anything and everything regarding technical and professional communication. It's definitely not my strong point, so I'm working on that. The lessons I learned, a lot of the smaller things that go into finishing up a paper, the quotations and paraphrasing and citations, those are things that I need to be better about, and especially utilizing the Student Writing Center and getting in there and getting the help that I need, since this is not my chosen profession. Moving on here to my second best project, I chose the brochure. Again, you'll see the rules here as laid out by Amy, and I chose the brochure project because it was a lot of fun to do and finish off. I chose a nonprofit organization that is called Mountain View Recycling. I'll explain a little more along the way, but basically the audience, you'll see my brochure in the next slides here. I tried to keep everything really neutral, so that everyone could relate to it. And as far as the design aspects, as you'll see here, I chose a lot of green colors and things that pertain to the environment and that kind of match up with that recycling atmosphere. So that's kind of the things I chose along the lines of, I don't want to, as the design, to keep everything in circle with the environmental aspect of it. It actually is a really cool organization that they will do all your recycling for you and they'll pick everything up, so it's great to help kind of get the word out there through this, especially in a brochure. And probably my favorite parts about doing the brochure would be, the things that I liked. I loved doing the research. I loved designing the brochure and putting things together in that sense, and trying my best to keep it simple. I'm a lot better off with a simple manner of things, so that was a lot of fun. As far as terminology for the brochure, utilizing the PSA as with all our assignments, and determining an audience. Obviously, everyone should recycle. It's something that is that's important for our environment. And keeping the context simple and the layout and the design simple, so nobody gets confused or overwhelmed with the idea. So those are some of the things that I put into that design there. And finally, the third project that I picked would be the website. This was interesting. I thought that it was going to be pretty easy for me, as I'm a blogger myself and I have my own personal blog that I enjoy sharing things on, and this one was a little bit different. So you see on the left here, I pulled a screenshot from my personal blog, and trying to compare it to the website that I created for this TWC 301 course. So it's pretty interesting, the differences, obviously, in the purposes of the blog. I do enjoy my own personal blog and sharing my thoughts there, and creating a website for this course was a lot of fun also, because in some ways it was the same, but it was different in some ways also. So what I liked about the website, I loved, obviously, that I have a little bit of experience in the blogging world. I love the design aspect of it. I love putting the colors together and, picking the themes for it. And as far as the website goes, it was a lot of fun to just be able to say what I wanted to say and put out there what I wanted to put out there. So that was definitely something that I enjoyed. I think I would probably put this as my favorite assignment. It was a lot of fun. The things that I didn't like so much about the website project, however, is for me, because I'm used to blogger with my personal blog, I was unfamiliar with the WordPress website, and I just felt like there were a lot of excessive options maybe that didn't need to be there. Maybe some people enjoy that use, but as for how I like to do things, I like to keep things simple, and so it kind of was a little overwhelming with all the information on the dashboard and the home page and all the options, but it definitely was a fun time, and I think I just might have to keep that WordPress site for future fun. So just to wrap things up here on my 3 best projects, I learned a couple lessons this semester in utilizing definitely the PSA, the problem-solving approach, and putting a lot of time into planning and preparing and doing my research and brainstorming and drafting and all those concepts. And I think the thing that I learned most is that procrastination is never key, and it won't get you very far, and it's just not the most fun. But overall, I love the course. It was definitely out of my realm, seeing as how I'm a biology major, so it was a lot of fun to kind of have a quick peek into the life of you design majors out there. As far as that, I appreciate you guys stopping in to see my final presentation, and thanks so much for your time.